Hi, Elliot Roger here. Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity. Against all of you.
Coming to you live from New York City, the show that everyone loves but most don't know yet. Hosted by America's beloved ContraPoints at your service, where you can get all of your updates on dissident politics and get the most radical takes on the latest of extremist affairs. The American Thirst Show. Oh, say, can you see by the golden archie what so proudly we hailed at the lamplight's LED, whose brown stripes and dark stars through the gross sharp-marked farts o'er the drive-bys we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the Arby's red glare, the farts bursting in air, gave proof through the dinner that our fat was still there. Oh, say does that lard splattered platter yet wait o'er the land of no bees and the home of the overweight? On today's broadcast, we are covering how Vaush is a filthy transphobe. But first, a quick update. Adam Green's demon is evolving into its next form, like a Pokemon. But if that Pokemon is synced with your soul and body, almost as if it was a parasite of some sort. Update, still puking. Down 30 pounds. Ooh! This demonic transformation is really sucking the life out of Adam, straight out of his stomach. Most sick I've ever been. Now, what's important here is this is 6 days after his initial entrance, emergency visit to the ER for getting the flu. His very sick flu. So in 6 days, Adam's lost 10 pounds every day. Now, either he has a drinking problem or he's a little bit obese. But nonetheless, it continues. I haven't eaten anything in 10 days. 10 days. The initial ER post and visit, if you could guess, being 10 days before this tweet, was on February 19th. And Adam just got back to streaming on March 4th, making March 3rd the last day Adam was sick and going through his completing his demonic possession of some kind. Rather unlucky for Adam to be going through it for 13 days. And to lose 30 pounds. I mean, losing 30 pounds probably isn't a bad thing at that point. You know, you're not really losing muscle. So. But in other news, Vaush is a pedophile. Shocking, right? Who'd ever thought? Vaush, of all people, is a pedophile. He recently had a little bit of a kerfuffle.
This is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. What? You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to. What?
Now, if you could see there... gotta click on the video.
This is an example of the kind of structure that I'm...
Right there. He quickly tried to save the file. If you see the window opening there. Closing. He quickly tried to save a picture of an Asian man in a suit because he thinks he looks rather dashing. And probably wants to masturbate to him. Because the reality is, all of the other files stored in Vaush's directory, known as To Be Sorted, which this pulled up, To Be Sorted, is full of porn. And he has a huge fetish, especially for Japanese Asian man porn drawn by Asian men of young children engaging in bestiality sex with animals, particularly of the horse-like kind. So he tried to save a file and he exposed all of his porn, as you can see here. There's 5 directories. Old. Taxes. Rather ironic area to store all of your most important documents, most valued documents. Important for saving, backing up, having multiple records of them. You know, Vaush probably has this cloud backed up, this whole area. It's important for his business. His capitalistic business, mind you. So he has another directory, the other 3 directories, which stores all of his porn. I mean, Old probably does also. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some of it in taxes, based on his vast collection he has here. Vast and diverse. There's 3 other directories, XXX GIFs, XXX Pics, and XXX Vids. If you look really close here, you'll see a lot of these bottom images have an artist being mentioned here who goes by the name of Reupload. Now, what's interesting about Reupload is people found him on Twitter and saw what he was all about, and they discovered his particular art he engages in is lolly. So all of the lady figures you see drawn in those pictures are actually of minors engaging in sexual activity. Now, if you can imagine, since this whole scandal came out, Reupload ended up deleting a lot of his tweets, so there's not much more to it. But some Kiwis out there did the research and put in the effort and discovered what really brought Vaush to @Soropio. And it's horse pussy. 40 pictures uniquely of horse pussy. Now, we already know Vaush has a bit of a kink for it, saying his entire To Be Sorted directory is full of bestiality, child porn. But that's not just it. You know, Vaush can still come out and say, oh, it was an accident. I didn't know this one artist was child porn. Blah, blah, blah. It was a mistake. I heard she was 3,000 years old. It's not actually a person. It's just like a small, like, fantasy creature of some kind. But the reality is, Vaush already has a rather substantial collection of child porn. And we know that for a fact because the thumbnail in XXX Vids directory is actually done by an artist called Mizum. And it's a video of a young 16-year-old animated Asian girl engaging in fellatio. So it's no longer to be sorted. It's in the sorted location it's supposed to be with the rest of its child porn. But this isn't the big deal about it. It's not about Vaush exposing himself once again. It's who became aware of this exposure. One of them being a man known as H3H3 Podcast. Millions of viewers, they've collabed together many times before. H3H3 is just your average, libertarian rhino conserva cuck liberal. There really isn't much to him. He's not unique. He takes lukewarm takes, which is why he's so popular, because it's the popular opinion. And he decided to do a bit of a review on Vaush's inevitable, once again, exposure.
So let's start from the beginning. So Vaush,
go ahead.
Vaush recently, it was yesterday or the day before, he ended his stream in a panic after he accidentally exposed his corn folder. Here is an enhanced version of the thing. I obviously can't put this on screen, but I'll show it to you.
It's highly advised to not put it on screen.
There's 5 folders in it. Old, taxes, XXX gift.
All of the important documents. The most important documents on Vaush's computer. Child porn and taxes. Spoken like a true capitalist.
XXX pics and XXX vids.
Wow.
XXX Tassion.
So organized.
And now you get to the kind of unsorted, downloaded images.
The gobbledygook. The gross gobbledygook that Vaush saved. And H3H3 and his crew decided to go into details on researching all of these different pictures and topics and dorky things. And I really don't care. I really don't care for learning more about the specific intricacies of Vaush's child porn.
That are populating.
Miscellaneous.
And yet to be sorted.
Now, the first thing I'm noticing is a Kingaru.
What the hell is that?
From the new Legend of Zelda, and it appears to be, I can't be sure, but it appears to be Kingaru porn. And Dan pointed out, Kingaru is horse-like. That's the one Vaush wants to.
I don't know about you, but that doesn't look like any horse I've seen. Nope, it just looks like one giant furry. You could say Vaush has a bit of a fur fetish.
The fuck?
Oh, it's definitely horse-like.
Yeah.
Definitely not
something.
human.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we move to the other parts. And Love, you kind of know the specifics about what's in here. Not
He's got the deets. He knows all the facts.
saying anything, but you did. You are boots on the ground. You put
Yesterday when we were talking about it on the live stream, I found a Twitter.
Pour one out for the fallen lad who had to research the child porn. Pour one out for him. Even H3H3 is like, I ain't touching this shit, man. You do the heavy lifting here. I'll just comment on it.
Thread saying that one of the animes depicted in these thumbnails are apparently the main character in that anime is 16.
Just
a minor, a child, a naive, innocent child. But it gets even worse. It's not just drawn child porn that Vaush had saved on his to-be-sorted directory.
this looks like hentai. Here's some big ass horse cocks. Here's a girl treating a horse cock. Here's a horse cock silhouette with a big horse cock. Here's more Lord Raru furry stuff. You see the horse here? Oh, it's a VTuber.
Yeah, so
not Suru.
Not Suru, a VTuber, a real person, a real child.
Matsuri. Maybe some people know who that is. I don't know, but here I'll show you the picture of her. She is like clearly a child.
Age 16, it says here.
But that's like a young 16 too, I feel like.
Oh.
So he has some very graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
graphic.
Oh, I didn't realize. what you were pulling up.
Graphic.
Yeah,
Graphic. It's of an actual 16-year-old VTuber. Their animated character. That Vaush has pornographic material of. Lock him up. Lock him up. At the very least, lock him up.
This
Yeah,
is just
this is okay to show.
the page about the character's virtual. She's a VTuber, I guess, or I don't know what all that means.
Yeah. It's too H3H3 is a little bit too old for that. A little bit too old for the VTubing style. Do you think he'd like my VTube character? It's quite handsome. But it's not. Vaush ended up responding, obviously, to H3H3, his best buddy, his e-buddy, his collaborator buddy, for making his millions of viewers look at and watch him hyper-analyze Vaush's child porn. And he had this to say.
Now, because I am, as has been extensively demonstrated in this video, a fucking idiot.
You've been a fucking idiot in every fucking video, Vaush. You've never not been an idiot. You can't just undo your idiocracy.
My preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder. Now,
my strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to save all of my porn into one directory and have that directory pop up on my screen whenever I save something. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant of good old Vaush. But is this why Vaush is an idiot? Is Vaush an idiot because he's technologically incompetent? But more importantly, some of you probably might be wondering, but most likely not, who is Vaush? Well, this is Vaush. A young, skating, edgy scene emo boy of the, late millennial or early Zoomer generation of the Beverly Hills, California area. A millionaire's child. A millionaire's child who likes skateboards, painting his nails, and reading the Twilight series. Real cute young kid. But this cute young kid, this young man, mistakes were made. Oh. This disgusting, fat, future pedophile developed a sex interest. And, in very anthropic, animalistic ways, to say the least. I mean, H3H3 covered it. Vaush had all the horse porn saved all over his directory, ready to be sorted. But he had to keep it quick there so he can easier open it and jack off to it like the sick freak he is. I'll tell them I'm down to meet up tomorrow, and they'll be like, I can't wait for you to fucking destroy me with that horse cock. And here's, Vaush's Discord having a large portions of results mentioning horse. I wonder how many of those results would come up with horse and cock right next to each other the whole time. But I'd assume the 70 results gets the most out of it. So we'll just take I got a little bit of a video of that. Here's the whole thing from that single screenshot from the top. I might as well put it here. I had it in another area, but I'm like, you know what? I recognize that it's the top. You can see all of the horsecock love Vaush's, and that's why I say, like, why not just have horsecock after? I mean, it doesn't always have horsecocks, but it generally has horsecock or horse dick. So you just put in 2 separate portions of a query in there, you should probably get all the results. If you hit like a plus button to add it in within your query of some kind. So Vaush clearly has a thing for horsecock and bestiality, to say the least. So much so that he's attracted an audience of people who enjoy horsecock and furry fandom fetishes. I'm so drunk right now. Repost furries. And Vaush has it right on hand. I have no idea what this is or what it's from, but I know I don't like it, to say the least. But, Vaush isn't most known for his love of the horse cock, or his issues with the age of consent. No. The most famous thing Vaush ever did, I mean it for real. The thing that everyone knows Vaush for. If you don't know anything else about Vaush, there's a good chance you know about this. This chimera crawling out of his sex cave. This is the thing Vaush is most famous for. Waking up late to his stream, fat, hairy, and ass naked, and watching his half-human, human-animal hybrid hobble on out of his little hole that he dwells in and masturbates to his child porn with. This is what Vaush is most known for. But what Vaush is most famous for, I guess, not known, he's most known for that, most famous for, let's put it that way, is his politics. Rather ludicrous, insane, and contradictional politics.
Libertarianism is in a really weird place in this country. I was a libertarian when I was younger, when I was in high school, and then I wasn't for a while, and now I am again, just a different kind.
Of course, we have Vaush. Join it.
Howdy. Yeah, I'm Vaush. I'm a YouTuber. And
I'm a
I guess I call
YouTuber.
myself a libertarian socialist. I like some parts of the country. I'm a big fan of some parts of it. Some other parts I think could use some improvement.
I just hate all those filthy fucking rural people. They're just not, capitalistically social enough. The way I see it. They're so greedy and, independent. It's real shame of these people to be like this. So unique from the rest of us out in liberal democracy utopia. So, what the fuck is libertarian socialism? Well, what it is a load of fucking bullshit. That's what it is. Utter, complete nonsense. It's just Vaush's way to be a parasitic Marxist and weasel his way into different heavily left-wing influenced spheres and corrupt them to his dogma about communism and Marxism.
Do you consider yourself a Marxist? I don't know what it means to be in anything. There are plenty of elements of Marxist theory that I think are highly agreeable, and there are things that he said that I disagree with. I imagine that's the case with basically any like theorist's works, you know. Certainly I have a stronger connection to Marx's theories than I do almost any other theorist, you know, in terms of my.
You heard it here first. I agree with Marx on more than I disagree with him on. And not only that, but he agrees with him more than other, you know, far leftist, anarcho-communist thinkers. If you can really even call anarcho-communism a school of thought, to say the least.
Affinity. Yeah, I'm a centrist between Marxists and anarchists, yeah.
So, he's a parasite, he's a liar, he's a fraud, and he's a pedophile.
Poking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back, look over our history tab, and we go like, oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Some of these girls looked pretty young. Okay, I don't give a fuck, all right?
I don't give a fuck!
I don't know what it means to be a...
porn, like drawn stuff.
Fuck me.
In fact, and this...
I don't give a fuck! I don't give a fuck if I'm a pedophile. I'm Vaush. I'm right. Because I'm on the West Coast, leading class of America. One of them.
Girls looked pretty young. Okay, I don't give a fuck. All right, I don't care. I still think that like zoophile porn, like drawn stuff, it should be 100% legal.
We know because you have it.
In fact, and this is gonna...
And he clearly had it, you know, before he ever actually exposed himself with it. Him merely talking about it, referencing it, alluding to the topic, normalizing it, proves that he has it, because we've already seen him with it.
Be a real hot take. I have yet to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be illegal.
And there you go. He says it shouldn't be illegal to possess child porn. And we caught Vaush here this year, 2024, with child porn. Shocking.
Child porn be legal? I think that would be, yes, more legal and more ethically consistent. Yes, 100%.
It is possible.
He doubled down on it, and this is where it is. You think something truly is impossible, but Vaush is going to tell us all here how it is possible.
For an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible.
What if CP...
And it's possible you're a fucking pedophile and you've molested children before.
...is free. If you're not paying for child pornography, then there is no argument in favor of morally condemning people who get it.
Oh, Vaush is gonna argue for owning child porn now. So it's not just like a one-off statement. No, he actually has, you know, bullet points, a logic ladder. You know, he has an argument, a way to really prove his belief in normalizing child porn.
Chaos, $5. So would you say that people who purchase child porn are just as bad as the people who sell it, or no? No, not even slightly. I don't think that you should morally impugn anyone who purchases child porn for the same reason I wouldn't want to be morally impugned for buying clothing from companies that like use slave labor to do so.
Whoa! And we're gonna hear this argument over and over again, and we'll get to it. Wow! If you know, you look at child porn and you buy child porn, and if you have an issue with people buying child porn, but you buy computers or clothing that's made by slave labor, you're just as bad. You're just as evil and vindictive. You're just as much of a stain to society. I call bullshit.
However, those who produce and sell the child porn, that is an entirely different question.
The demand plays no role in the supply. Surely not. Surely not. Our communists would be economically illiterate. Who would ever expect something like that?
When I was a kid, I was having sex with other kids. Lots of it. Gross.
And this is where it gets really creepy. Because you have to realize Vaush has a very predominantly young audience, as most people on the internet do. And here he's getting all soft and sweet and like comfortable around, you know, the young children that are watching, almost like a therapist or a dean. Or when a teacher or somebody in authority is trying to get, you know, some sort of information from the child because they know some facts and somebody did something and they need to snitch on the other person.
Gross sex. More than you'll ever imagine.
It was just like really gross, man. It was wonderful though. I loved it. It was great. No regrets.
And it was great. And it wasn't wrong or bad, and nobody regrets it. When I was a kid...
Well, when I was a kid, I wasn't looking at pornographic material of any kind. God blessed me with that, to say the least. God blessed me by never being exposed to porn at a young age. Because clearly, if I was, there's a possibility, as Vaush likes to put it, there's a possibility that it would have turned into a freaky sex degen who saves and downloads his child porn on the computer like Vaush. But that's not it. There's so many videos, so many tweets, so many DMs, so many open posts on forums and Discord servers and all these things. It's just an endless stream.
Okay, so if you were to... So, you know, there's pedophiles, right, who buy child pornography. Would you say they should not be held responsible for doing that?
Yes.
Really?
Even Vegan Gains. Vegan Gains is shocked by this statement, being a leftist progressive.
Even though they're directly supporting child rape.
Yeah, I think it's
And he worded it perfect. Even though they're directly supporting child rape,
it's hypocritical. It's
hypocritical
because I bought my computer and the silicon in it was farmed in Africa by slaves. If I can do that and that's legal and no one's going to call me out on my shit, then yeah, I have to be consistent in that respect.
Okay. See, when I said Vaush had an argument for it, he's actually debated this. He's not just has an argument for it. He's openly, publicly debated for owning child porn. Like a retard. I don't know what would make some sort of sick freak so brain dead retarded other than just like the little holes in their Coomer brain from so much cum. But like, oh, fuck, why would you? You know, usually you have to like weasel them out, trick them online, catfish them a bit. But here's one of them just openly coming out and arguing. Hey, look, guys, I think everybody should like own child porn. It's like fucking cool. You know why? You know why? Because you buy computer parts that are made of silicone that we have to use slave labor to obtain those things. The difference between child porn and slave labor used in certain mining industries for obtaining resources is you're not buying the silicone computer chip for the slave labor. You're buying it for the chip. If you're buying child porn, You're buying it for the exploitation and abuse of children. You're explicitly buying it for the abuse of children. But that's the end of the argument. I don't even know why Vegan Gains had to sit there and think for a bit other than he's a nitwit. It's insane. It's insane to even publicly say these things. And Vaush did it years ago. And he still obtained almost 500,000 subscribers. It really shows how sick and disgusting this whole fucking world we live in is right now. And not only did H3H3 watch, see the pictures and reviews and review the images Vaush had, he also publicly reviewed some of these videos we showed here, actually, to his millions of subscribers.
Logic. Why is the possession of child pornography immoral? Because it hurts people to make child pornography, yeah? Because you have to hurt children to make it. That's why it's immoral. It's not magically immoral.
It's immoral because normalizing sex for children is wrong, disgusting, and abusive. It's abusive for the children. You know, unless Vaush is going to argue children need to have access to sex. But that's just fucking insane.
It's immoral because of the harm that is caused by it. So, do we not possess other things that
you sound like
hurt
someone who's
people
trying to
in their
rationalize
production?
child abuse like that?
And H3H3 nailed it. Yes, Vaush is trying to normalize the abuse of children.
That is an insane. That's actually.
It's like, okay, this is wrong.
That is not better. People who do horrible shit, they rationalize it in their minds so they can live with it.
And Vaush has a history of trying to rationalize the disgusting things he finds rather appealing.
This man says, you eat chocolate and you dare to care about child pornography? That's what his point is, right?
Oh my God, it's just like every other clip of you, quote unquote, defending CP. Yep, it's just like the other 47 times this.
Even Vaush has to admit that he's argued for the normalization of child porn and child abuse over 47 times. And this is an old clip. Vaush has easily surpassed that number. He's certainly in the triple digits at this point.
This has happened. Now,
that doesn't seem like an exaggeration.
Well, why are you defending it 47 times?
Because he's a pedophile. I muted myself like a fucking retard. Because he's a pedophile. He's defending himself. He's arguing this because he's a pedophile.
I think he's kidding. He's kidding. Or is he not?
I think he's kidding. I don't know. He's pretty serious in that Vegan Gains debate.
Kidding?
Well, we already seen in the highlight clip.
That is kind of true because there are a lot of clips. So
just from what we've seen in the highlight clip.
Oh. And by the way, this never comes up in person when people talk to me.
Well, you don't just like start talking to random strangers about child porn. I mean, hey, like child porn's like really bad, man. Yeah, I agree. It is also really bad. Sweet. Good conversation.
Okay.
I guess it's fair. I guess it doesn't matter.
Everyone's a coward. I dare you to call me a pedophile to my face.
I would more than gladly call Vaush a pedophile to his fucking face.
It is possible. Please, right now, uncuck your dumb shit libcuck fucking SJW brains.
Okay.
Whoa!
And recognize this empirically correct fact that I am about to spit. It is possible for an adult and a child to have a sexual relationship and for it to have positive outcomes on the child as well. That is possible.
No.
Yeah, you know,
however,
no is right. No is right. H3H3's horse-faced wife is right. No more Vaush. No more Vaush. No more people arguing in favor for fucking child porn. No more of this nonsense. No more of these batshit fucking crazy people. But that's the issue here. Vaush doesn't think he's an idiot because H3 covered him exposing himself. They already don't agree on everything. As H3 pointed out, he had to uncuck his dumb lib cuck SJW fucking ears. No, they already disagree on things. He's not an idiot for saying these things. He made it perfectly clear, actually, in his stream the day after he leaked his child porn collection, that this isn't why he's an idiot.
Is this or that, okay? I'll make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse. None of this is a secret. To be clear, many jokes have been made about this, but
To be clear, none of this is a secret that Vaush is a pedophile with a child porn collection. To be clear, we all already knew Vaush was a pedophile and wants to fuck children as a horse.
Okay? I'll make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse. None of this is a secret. To be clear, many jokes have been made about this, but I stand by it. My moral principles are rock solid. I'm on my feet.
Rock solid, feet planted straight in the ground, that I want to fuck children as a fucking horse, baby. What a statement, Vaush. What an argument. Is this really how you go about it? Is this really how you go about responding to you fucking yourself over?
To be clear, many jokes have been made about this, but I stand by it. My moral principles are rock solid. My feet are firmly planted in the ground. I've got my boots up. They're planted firmly. You cannot move me from my position. This isn't a secret. Let's talk to a therapist. Why?
It's not a secret. We know it's not a secret. You exposed it all live to everyone, to millions of people to see, Vaush. We all know it's not a secret at this point. No fucking shit.
Why do you want to be the horse, Vaush? Because then I'd have a giant dick. Okay, couldn't you have a big dick the other way? Well, yeah, I could. I could have a big dick hypothetically in any variety of scenarios, but then it wouldn't really be a horse dick. Well, you could be a human with a horse dick. Yes, but then I wouldn't have that powerful stallion energy using it.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that stallion energy. That real, vigor in Vaush's animation for arguing for his justification of downloading a bunch of child porn. His moral principles are just rock solid. He's not sorry for having an abhorrent bestiality fetish. No. Because he can make funny jokes about he wouldn't be a fat slob if he was just that raw stallion strength. The reality, though, is this isn't the whole thing. This isn't the whole thing. Saying we have video evidence from Vaush himself that proves this isn't the whole thing. It's not just, I wanna fuck a bitch as a horse. No, Vaush. You want to fuck children as a horse. Yet, Vaush doesn't actually think he's an idiot for getting caught red-handed about his honesty he's been over the past fucking 6 years, that he wants to fuck children as a horse. He's not an idiot for getting caught about that. No. Because it's never been a secret that he fetishes over children and bestiality. The issue is a lot different. And this is actually what Vaush is sorry about.
Like the part where he said this is a pedophile community. Yeah, did he say that with regards to there being a lot of transgenders here? Is that what he meant?
the plot thickens. It's not about being public about his sex addiction, or that he was caught with CP and H3H3 exposed it. No. He's sorry he responded abruptly to H3H3. He's sorry that he pissed off his trans viewers by using them as his bullet shield for being a pedophile.
Like the part where he said this is a pedophile community. Yeah, did he say that with regards to there being a lot of transgenders here? Is that what he meant? Curious. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, that really isn't a great take there, buddy.
Oh, fuck, did he really? Yeah, he did. Or at least it was gestured at, I think. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the part where he...
Yeah, Vaush. You did go there. Truly, Vaush showed his true colors with his response stream. His immediate response stream. That his political positions aren't those he actually believes in. No, they're just a public political stance for the benefit of him being within the bourgeoisie. H3H3 didn't accuse his Vaush's trans audience of being pedophiles. He accused his Vaush accused his trans audience of being pedophiles. Vaush insinuated that all trans people are pedophiles, and that his trans community are all in the same boat of being wrongfully accused of being pedophiles. But that's just not the case, Vaush. None of your viewers were caught owning, downloaded, saved child porn. In fact, I'm willing to bet the majority of trans people haven't actually downloaded child porn, let alone those actually caught with it. But you were. You were caught with it, yet you want to use your trans audience as a shield for the fact that you were caught with child porn. And that rather ticked off a certain somebody, to say the least. Natalie Wynn. Goes by ContraPoints on YouTube. Using bogus transphobia accusations to defend a cis man's public consumption of child porn, sexually explicit child images, just child porn, is unbelievably harmful and egregious. That's all I'm gonna say about this. Yes, the video is coming. And if you don't know who ContraPoints is, they have a bit of a history. You know, they were like good buddies early on, I guess. Maybe. I have no idea. Not the exact details. But they got in a bit of scuffle a year ago or so, and another one. And they don't really like each other. They're rather competing for the same crop. And in one of those disagreements, ContraPoints really told their audience what they really truly think about Vaush. And people like Vaush, who are on the far left, you could put it. The dissident left. That doesn't make sense. Far left. Insane left. They're all insane.
Really well, explaining that actually I just didn't understand the complex tactical arguments for the moral necessity of being misogynistic to JK.
Now, I can't explain the complex concepts and what the fuck they're arguing about, because who gives a fuck? Who cares what the hell two homosexuals have beef about? At the end of the day, it's just anyways. We don't really care about the argument. We don't care about J.K. Rowling. We don't care about what you tweet, what you say, and all this. What we care about is what Contra really thinks.
Rowling. And then he accused me of cancel culturing him while at the same time literally telling his followers to publicly shame me.
The more of you are in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. Like, this is necessary, okay? Publicly shame her into changing her mind on this.
Then bringing up my past struggle with addiction.
Move you off this site and into... I don't want to bring up the substance abuse.
So that pretty much confirms to me that Vaush doesn't actually care about advocating for trans people and just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a fucking dingus. I won't tell you to publicly...
Oh! Vaush was just exposed by a dingus in a dress. Utterly exposed.
And just uses trans rights as a pretext to act like a fucking dingus. I won't tell you to publicly shame him though, because unlike Vaush, I would never sink to that. The point
Ooh. You know they had their fingers crossed there. I'd never sink to that while I publicly shame you. Dab on the motherfucker.
I would never sink to that. The point I'm trying to make is, I have no qualms about calling out people on my side whenever they go too far or cross a line. Because I'm really well explaining that
baby. Oh, I don't have any problem exposing people on my side whenever they go too far or cross the line. And Vaush crossed that line. That pedophilic line. And Object Points has no qualms with calling out Vaush to its millions of gender fluid Kool-Aid cultists. This is why Vaush is an idiot. Why Vaush finally admitted to being an idiot. A blank-brained bozo fool, wide open for the public to see. And it's not the fact that he's a sex addict, nor that he's a libertarian communist, but that he used his island of misfit trans toys as bullet shields for his child porn collection that it pissed off inanimate points. And that's a huge deal. Huge deal. You do not, if you're on the left and you're on the far, especially the far left, you do not want to piss off inanimate points, because what they say has a lot of weight, a lot of pull to it, so much. 1.76 million subscribers. H3H3 also has a lot. But H3's audience is, more elderly and clinically sane compared to Contra's audience, if you could imagine. And, they recently made a video, and they don't make a lot of videos, but when they do, oh boy, do people watch them. Oh, its fans really, really enjoys their content. 4 days and they almost have 2 million views, 1.6. It's when that video comes out, and we know it's gonna come out, and that this is a bit of a passion project, to say the least, for ContraPoints. Vaush is afraid. He squirms. He worms. He really is afraid of ContraPoints. So afraid to even crawl out from his child porn cave. But let's just hear out what Vaush has to say.
The other one is like a threesome with two chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like,
yeah, I can see it. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. He admitted that he did download child porn. And he knows that it's child porn because we already know he has a collection of child porn.
other one is like a threesome with two chicks and a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way...
Now we know, and we already have some evidence of that, by the way, that Vaush likes them. Oh, come on. That Vaush likes them short and thick. We already know he likes them short and thick since he had this short and thick human hybrid creature crawl on out of his cave. But now we know that Vaush has a thing for short
the other one
and thick.
Is like a threesome with two chicks.
Short and thick little girls.
And a guy. And in retrospect, looking at it, knowing now that that artist is a lolicon, yeah, I can see it. When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn.
Goblins. Goblins. That's what they were at the end of the day. Goblins. They weren't little human girls. No. They were clearly not, not green. They weren't green with like pointy ears and like all the other weird fucking shit. Because at the end of the day, he's already argued it so many times. He has a collection for it. It isn't a secret that Vaush is attracted to, well, 14-year-old girls.
What age android girl do you think the average American man would be most attracted to?
I think it would be somewhere
do you not
from
want to answer
14...
this question?
No, I think it'd be somewhere from 14 to 17.
You heard it there first. Vaush thinks the average man is attracted to a range of women between 14 and 17 the most. I don't know about you, but I don't find any 14 to 17-year-old attractive, let alone 18. Just the constant projecting, from Vaush and his sick and twisted world. So, we have Vaush. Oh, probably should close that. Good old Vaushy Vaush. Our buddy here. All set up and ready to go. He went to shortly after this whole fiasco of Vaush exposing all of his porn, he went to a little bit of a Trump event and picked up a new pair of his fash-smashing sneakers, Trump-branded. He was even wearing a little single knee pad and pants with tactical ankle pockets in case he gets a little bit in a scuffle with some of the chuds at the event. The reality is, though, is Vaush isn't going to be using that knee pad for fighting chuds. No, Vaush is going to be getting down on the ground, on his knees, to suck Contra's cock after it releases its millions of insecure followers for its particular passion project. So, I've been the King's Fool. I've been your humble host, the King's Fool. And this is your instructions on why Vaush is a pedophilic, transphobe furry.